One more reason.
And truth be told, how many more reasons we need to recognize we are the reason for all of this shit? Like, all this shit is happening to wake us up. Like, if that ain't a beautiful story, like, I get it. Some of us still caught up in the details to where we see all the sad stories of what happened when we didn't wake up, or people had to wake up on the other side. Like, let's be real. Maybe everything they went through in this life was for them to be able to wake up on the other side. You see what I'm saying? But you can't stop the inevitable. Like, you think because you kill off a few babies, you stopping something. Man, that shit coming from the skies, from the left, the right, underground. You feel me? That shit coming through the womb. Because the kids have effects of environmental shit when they come out. And a mother makes a child based on what's best for the environment. So when you talking about somebody passing on bad genes, like, I don't wear it. Where they doing that at?
Do you enjoy?
Fuck is they doing that at? Anything, she had bad habits while she was carrying your motherfucking ass. She ain't passing on no bad genes, G.
Do you like to feel so clear in your mind?
Them bad habits on a young body can be totally detrimental.
You know when you click into that? You know those moments in time when clarity is just so strong that it feels to you like you just can't get it wrong, at least not right now. Things are just really clicking for you. Is that something worth focusing on? And is it a condition or is it an unconditioned? Reality where it belongs, which is past tense, is old news. What's already
Sound good to me. Truth be told, that all that trying to please a motherfucker shit, nigga be thinking you showing love at that point. All the while, they got us confused on what the fuck love is. Love is what you feel. You feel me? And what you express to other people. But it don't mean, oh, just kissing somebody's ass is the only way to love somebody. Some people got different, like, I pay attention to different personalities. Some people ain't into that shit. So, kissing their ass would be the equivalent of saying fuck you to them. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, situational type shit. You gotta do it individual by individual situation. Not to say nothing against what she's saying. I'm talking about just what I learned from dealing with shit on my end.
growing desire doesn't feel good to you if you're not good at keeping up to speed with it. Because your desire is
I
growing.
could have sworn marriage, when I read about it in the Bible, it was something to do unless you scared you might sin. I mean, it's something to do if you scared you might sin. You get what I'm saying? Like, apparently, like, if you could control your sexual cravings, they would say get married, so at least you got somebody to do that with. But
yeah, that's only if you're going off the Bible and you
I'm
believe
just,
in that type of sin.
but where we at? Like, the majority of these conversations is coming from that, whether you're not believing in the Bible or not.
I didn't know that the majority of these conversations was coming from that. Why would they come from that if that's not what you're teaching?
Because, just like we talk about a lot of things that was acceptable at one point in time. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that we run this country off of is based off of that. They might change the words.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what people were told if that's what you believe. If you don't believe that you're sinning by having sex or having cravings for sex, then no. Why would you get married?
Sinning in so many words is taking yourself off the course of other shit you should be doing. Too much anything can be bad. You crack your window.
Have cravings to have sex, or you want to have sex.
You crack your window. All the smoke coming this way.
So you want to have sex about getting married. So now you have somebody to have sex with. So
that's what I said. That's what I gathered from that scripture.
Right. And, okay. And so is that stopping the sin because you're married now? Because you're ultimately still having a lot of sex. Like,
and that's the conversation I'm trying to have. I'm trying to explore the conversation. Like, I could have sworn. Okay, we are. I don't know why, because I said it just like we're not. I said that that's the conversation I'm trying to have. So let's proceed.
You only don't want to hear it when you're turned away from it.
Like, we so wound up as a people, bro. We can't even have a fucking conversation. A nigga say some shit, it'll throw us clean the fuck off. Say what?
I said only with me you can't have a conversation because I watch you talk.
That's a bad observation. That's a bad observation.
Only when I come back at you with,
What's the last conversation I had with somebody else and how did that go?
Yesterday I watched you on live talk to people all day. Y'all were combating back and forth. Their idea, your idea. Their idea, your idea.
I'm glad to know that's what you thought. I'm glad to know that's what you saw because that's not
your
what happened.
estimation, and there was no. That's the conversation I'm trying to have. Like they're doing something wrong. Like you said to me, as if I'm doing something wrong. Like,
I'm glad to know that's how you took it, but at the same thing I'm trying to express right now. I can't be accountable for you. If I get offended by what you say, guess what? It ain't what you said. It ain't. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you right now. So me saying that that's the conversation I'm trying to have. Now we're back around to what I'm trying to talk about. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to talk about. But again, we can't get past the way shit done been said to us. Just like I was saying with that scripture. As much as a motherfucker might act like, oh, I don't go to church, so that shit don't apply to me. You live in a world where the principles of the laws, the integrity of society has been based on ancient facts. No matter how you put it, where you put it at, where you write it at. This stuff still, a lot of the basis of this stuff is facts in action. So I'm sitting over here like, I'm trying to weigh out, why the fuck is it, why we still think it's so fucking important to do something we was allowed to do? Only for the sake of not being retarded or for the sake of not overdoing shit. But truth be told, that was the king saying that shit. And we know good and damn well what the king was on a lot of times. When we talking about kingdoms, the king wanted to be the one to populate. He didn't want nobody else to be the one to populate the motherfucking empire. So there was restrictions. So if we turn around and be ruled by people that come from that kind of background, why are you surprised that they're putting these same kind of restrictions on you? And then we're sitting over here arguing with each other about why are you not doing this? Why are you not following the king's restrictions? But yet they're still saying we want to be free. Still saying, oh, this is what a nigga got to do in order for us to be free. But you putting yourself in chains. That's what I'm trying to explore. Are we putting ourselves in chains with that shit? Even the concepts of so-called relationships, the way we was taught Eurocentrically. Like, are we putting ourselves in fucking chains? Because I ain't saying marriage in itself is that, but the way we understand it, based on the background we coming from and the situation we in this country. So for a lot of us, we only know marriage based on what our masters told us. So truth be told, regardless to how comfortable you are in that relationship, that's just what you accepted about society. And now you're applying that shit within your relationship. But does that mean that's right? For some folks it may be if they say so. And does it mean it's wrong for some folks? For some folks it may be if they say so. But I'm still trying to figure out why. It's like, okay, even going back to what you said, why is it okay for motherfuckers to think like, all right, that shit applies across the board. So if everybody ain't on this getting married shit, then you don't have no integrity. Or you just out here fucking everybody. There's some people out here single because they not trying to be intimate with nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people will act like just because people single, they out here fucking. I mean, think about the conversations that be had. The consensus is single people out here just fucking off. And the only reason why some people want to be single is just so they can fuck off. It's like, come on, bro. We sitting over here forcing ourselves to implode because we sitting over here forcing unfair opinions on how relationships to be on everybody versus recognizing the natural dynamics that take place within certain people in their relationships. And that shit it'll take place if you not so caught up in what society, dominant society say your relationship should be. I'll just be trying to make sure nigga not keep on repeating the same shit gonna get recalled. Cause like I said, following the trends, you bound to get your ass recalled. Cause at one point in time, this same shit that we saying is not okay, which is great that we are furthering ourselves in society, but to go on a imbalanced witch hunt, I'm cool on that shit. I read about Salem. I thought that shit was crazy as fuck. I'm talking about as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was my teacher giving that narrative. I don't know, but I'm glad they did if they did. But that was crazy. To be mad at people for having the ability to connect with themselves in nature. Like, the fuck? And you figure since they can do that, they could do anything. Like, this person might try to kill me. Is that the same lady that had that one hair? She be flipping her shit. But yeah. But that's just some shit I be paying attention to. Like, I guess it's one of my new questions. You know, people be like, who, what, when, where, why. I also ask myself, is this an idiocracy, a motherfucker trying to make me repeat? Or trying to make me, start doing it? Because, I say repeat because there's certain things that I do and then have to recognize that shit no longer serves me. No longer serves me. But it's a way that you can learn to move intuitively throughout life. And to me, I feel like there's a fine line. I think we got to figure out what's the difference between moving intuitively and what some people consider the proverbial winging it. You think so?
Yeah, intuitively is from your gut. Winging it is.
I think it's balanced. I think intuitive is balanced. It's the two. It's a measure of the two. You feel me? Like for some people, you don't know exactly why you're doing stuff, but you know what it feels like when you're being prepared to do something. So that's conscious and so-called winging it, not knowing exactly where you're going with that shit. But you know what it felt like the last time something happened in your life. You know how it felt when the room slowed down.
That's not winging it.
No, I said balanced. Winging it is an extreme of not knowing shit to me. Just going through our life, not knowing why you doing shit. Just doing it. And conscious, or to move through our life consciously, is to be able to manifest because you putting your intention in the shit. Now the balance of that,
intuition.
I said that's what it is to me. Now what you say intuition is to you.
Intuition is when you have like a gut feeling or a pull or a
I said a gut feeling.
Yeah, because that's what the book definition is.
But how we know when people so-called winging it, it's not a gut feeling.
Because it's not. It comes from nowhere. Winging it comes from nowhere. Winging it is when people be like, I'm just going with the flow. So they're riding the car with somebody else all day long. That's winging it. Winging it is when you walking down the street and if somebody say, hey, come in here, you come in there. That's not intuition. Intuition pulls you. Nobody.
Do you realize everything has a balance?
I don't think it does. But yeah, everything probably do have a balance.
If everything has an extreme, it has to be a balance.
Everything don't have an extreme.
Okay, well, there ain't levels to shit in your understanding. I get it. Like, okay, we could use another word. It has levels. Does everything have levels?
I ain't been through everything, so I can't say.
Okay, do the things that you know of have levels to them? Does the volume have a level? Let's keep it simple.
That's what I'm about to say. That's such a vague question. Yeah, you could say, yeah, I guess, but no.
I think most people know there's levels to this shit. Like, you born in this motherfucker at a certain level. You're at a different level now. Or you could say age. Like, either way, when you're talking about balance.
Levels, but I don't think there's it. Intuition and winging it are nowhere near the same
I
thing.
get you don't think that. So again, are we trying to have some understanding, or are we just saying, you know what? Because you stated how you feel about shit, and now we looking for the understanding. I stated how I felt about shit. Now let's meet in the middle. Right? You're not looking for understanding. You're just we're talking at each other at that point. And I don't like to have those conversations. That's why a lot of time it be like, okay, I'm a little irritated because I know this conversation is not going to end with solutions or understanding between two people. We're just talking at each other. So as much as I seem like I don't know how to have productive conversations to some people, I don't feel like the conversation is productive without coming halfway with each other. After we both done made our points, let's meet halfway. Unless you want to debate. And then at that point, we both trying to prove a point. I'm with either one, but don't tell me the conversation over with. That's basically what you trying to say.
No, I said, or move on with the conversation. Like, there's no point to keep on trying to make each other understand what we think the definition is. Let's move on with the conversation. We are two different people. We're going to have our own definitions and stuff. You don't have to agree on every word.
You went further to expound on something I said. So then when I got ready to expound further on what you expounded on what I said, you like, we can just move on. I'm like, my nigga, that's like saying I gotta have the last word on some shit. That's not productive in a conversation.
I don't want to have the last word. I want to keep talking.
Okay, so after you made your point and I let you interject with me when I was talking, so that means I get to go back to what I was talking about. And if I reference something you interjected, then that's a cipher. So let's cipher real quick. Yeah. Now, as far as my understanding of that, I feel like winging it in some forms is intuitive, and then sometimes you just don't know. You just going through the motions. So the only difference between intuitive and going through the motions is one consciously knowing. When you feel that gut feeling, a lot of us, we know that's a gut feeling. So you consciously know that shit. But the difference between you doing that shit when you winging it, you can still be having a gut feeling. You just don't know. You're not applying it to a gut feeling. There's other feelings that are intuition rather than just a gut-wrenching feeling. So when you think about that, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be levels to this shit because we can't just sit here and be like, man, you know what? That's a generalization. And anytime you're dealing with a generalization, there's no level. There's no ages. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no working up to nothing. You don't have to manifest shit if you already got it. But the fact that we manifest shit is because we know we have to bring shit into fruition. Understanding.
Huh?
Understanding.
Yeah.
Is the word of the day. Understanding. I know what my girl said in that song. What I need from you is understanding. Simple as 1, 2, 3. Understanding is what I need. It's real though. And it's simple though. It really is simple. But we gotta be willing to try to understand each other. If you're not seeking to understand each other, you simply won't teach. You feel me? So it's all on you and what you choose to do. But as far as me, I choose not to have conversations that don't lead to an understanding that eventually leads to a solution. You know, once we get an understanding, we can find a solution. But without an understanding, we can't find no solution. How do we even understand what we trying to resolve? You feel me? How? Unless we have an understanding first. So, for me, I'm trying to understand why we do a lot of the things that we do in this country. So even if it's something that we're intuitively still doing, because it does agree with our culture and who we are. And you know, and what I recognize about culture is something that's adaptable towards what's in the best interest of the people that practice it. So again, I can see how going forward this could be in the best interest of us. But I still feel like there should be a checking system to it. We shouldn't just be doing things without knowing why we are doing it, and why this is relevant. Why I feel like calling my kids today. Uphold the mandate for the shots. Which, you know, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm really amazed at the humanity that we're experiencing in these days and time, and how, you know, our people are standing up and don't realize, you know, as much as you stand up for yourself, you standing up for others. So it's imperative that, you know, we don't let shit slide. Instead of just believing like it's gonna be alright, don't let that shit slide, bro. Do not let that shit slide. Man, I'm about ready to get this good old walk in this morning. I'm looking forward to it. I ain't gonna lie. I know last night I had a dream. I was with a shawty and I was with a little shawty and spiders or something. But I think they represented, you know, the spiritual realm type shit. Turn that shit I already do. But I'm grateful though, I'll tell you that. I know I'm lucky. Lucky. I'm one lucky.